Recently, a Chinese AI robot company held an exhibition where one of the robots wobbled around like a drunk man. This robot, which looked more like a robotic dog, tried to stand on two legs but struggled to keep its balance. Another robot conducted an orchestra but suddenly wobbled and collapsed while waving its baton. A third robot fell flat on the ground. Was it out of battery, or did it short-circuit? In another performance, a robot confidently approached the stairs, but suddenly tumbled down, lying motionless at the bottom. This person led a robot across a carpet. The robot stumbled on a raised bump, slipped, and tore a hole in the carpet. Someone commented and said, "You say it's sturdy, but it walks like my great-grandfather. Then you say it's not sturdy, but it punched a hole in the floor with its foot." At a Chinese robot show, the robots walked unsteadily. A white robot even fell to the ground. Someone else commented, "It looks like it's having a stroke. Quick, call emergency." In a mall in Fuzhou, a remote worker tried to make a robot go down an escalator. Instead, it tumbled down, knocking over two customers. These incidents reflect the actual level of China's robot manufacturing and offer a glimpse of the country's technological capabilities. Meanwhile, this October, Elon Musk gave the world several surprises within a week. His achievements pushed the U.S. to a new level in aerospace, robotics, and self-driving technology. On October 10th, Tesla held its We Robot event at Warner Brothers Studios in Hollywood. They showcased the self-driving taxi prototype Cybercab and the autonomous bus Robovan. The event also introduced the latest developments of the Optimus robot. At the event, Musk revealed that Tesla had made significant progress with its humanoid robot Optimus. In the future, the production model is expected to cost between $20,000 and $30,000 US. Musk called it the greatest technological product in history, saying it could walk dogs, watch children, and perform various household chores. Many people shared videos on social media showing their interactions with Optimus. One person said that after seeing Optimus, they had to admit that Tesla is the leader in AI. But some Chinese experts and media personalities, seemingly out of jealousy, tried to stir controversy online. They say Musk is faking it. Optimus is remotely controlled and isn't even that advanced. Even Tesla's self-driving technology is copied from China. Bloomberg reported that initially, the event wasn't supposed to feature robots. Musk requested the humanoid robot's appearance 3 weeks before the event. Due to the last-minute change, software updates couldn't keep up, so remote control was required. As a result, Chinese state media and other outlets spread the claim that Musk staged a fake event.
Musk is at it again with more fakery. Just a few days ago, his presentation had certain groups in China hyped up. But sadly, the only thing he showed off, aside from some flashy slides, was a bunch of fakes. Let's not even talk about the self-driving cars. That's old news for us. We've been doing that for 2 years. But take that robot, for example. The demo looked impressive. It could perform all kinds of actions and talk to people like it was almost human. Some groups are praising it to the skies. Is Musk's robot really that advanced? There were already doubts at the time. People questioned if the robots were being controlled from behind the scenes because each robot had a different voice and speaking speed, which didn't seem logical. Today, we have confirmation. Bloomberg reported that the humanoid robot interacting with the audience during the presentation was indeed being controlled backstage.
According to the World Journal, Chinese-American YouTuber Tesla Joy attended the event and had a close interaction with the robot. In her video, when she complimented the robot by saying,
"You're so cool,"
it responded,
"Thank you. You're very cool yourself."
"Thank you."
When someone asked the robot,
"How old are you, Optimus?"
it replied, "Although I was created some time ago, I cannot determine my age." When asked if it could high-five, the robot says, "We can high-five, but no physical contact." If the timing was off, Optimus even asked to try again. Regarding claims of remote control, Joy wasn't surprised. She noted that the event took place at Warner Brothers Studio, where such technology is easily achievable. However, she was impressed by the robot's agility, saying, "Its movements were very natural and smooth, almost human-like. I'm really looking forward to the day Optimus becomes a household companion robot." One person sarcastically remarked that even if Tesla's humanoid robot was remote-controlled, that itself requires skills. They challenged the online trolls, "Why don't you try controlling one of your clunky robots?" On August 25th, China hosted the World Robot Conference in Beijing, which attracted large crowds. Footage shared online showed that several female robots at the event were actually humans in cosplay. The public didn't know and even interacted with the models pretending to be robots. It was a bizarre scene. Of course, China has never been one to back down. Just days after Tesla showcased Optimus, China introduced a new off-road robot online. Chinese media reported that Tsinghua University developed a new humanoid robot that set a world record for running speed. The report claimed that this robot could overcome gravity and run at a speed of 6 meters per second across the Gobi Desert. Someone jokingly commented, "Does it have a stroke? Its running looks like someone recovering from a stroke, just like this country." This is so funny. Is it speed walking? And it broke the world record? What do I need this metal thing running for? If I want speed, don't I have a car? Why not put wheels on it and make it faster? Apart from counterfeiting, this reflects the true level of China's robots. One person commented that without Musk's open source contributions and NVIDIA chips, they wouldn't even have been able to make this. Someone else commented, "Overtaking on the curve? China's robot technology is stolen from around the world. I know someone from Beijing who went to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh to study robotics." One of the most exciting achievements this October was Elon Musk's SpaceX successfully recovering its Starship booster. On October 13th, SpaceX completed its 5th test flight of the Starship spacecraft in Texas. The highlight of this test was the first successful recovery of the rocket booster using giant mechanical arms, bringing it back safely to the launch pad. This major breakthrough laid a solid foundation for SpaceX's plans for lunar and Mars exploration. In preparing Starship for commercial operations, recovering the booster was a significant milestone. The company said that once Starship is operational, SpaceX's space mission frequency will greatly increase. According to Morgan Stanley, each Starship flight currently costs around $100 million, but that could eventually drop to $50 million. Chinese experts once ridiculed this plan as impossible, but this development proves them wrong.
When it comes to rockets, Musk takes shortcuts. He doesn't use a conventional or standard technical approach. Normally, if you're building a large rocket, wouldn't you need a bigger engine with more power? But Musk just bundled a bunch of engines together to create something like a compilation project. Why did Musk take this approach? It's simple, really. There are two reasons. First, he couldn't build it the regular way. That leads to the second issue. SpaceX is a commercial company funded by investors. It's not part of a national strategy where you can invest endlessly, regardless of cost, over 10 or 20 years. Musk needs to show returns. In the end, he had no choice but to take this shortcut, and he dressed it up as innovation. I'm not sure where this is from. This isn't live footage. It's just a simulation or a demo. It must be an animation, not a real video. There's no camera capturing the whole thing. Don't doubt the experts' abilities. Experts are just like us, ordinary people. If it's outside their field of knowledge, they can get it wrong too.
During the launch of the Polaris Dawn mission, a Chinese Academy of Sciences expert commented in a live stream, saying the footage was just SpaceX animation. Apparently, after watching too many CGI movies, everything looks like animation to them. On September 28th, Musk tweeted and pinned a post saying, "Look like CGI, but these are real video highlights from the Polaris Dawn mission." Thanks to Musk's Starlink satellite transmission, humanity is seeing high-definition space videos for the first time. What used to be science fiction is now reality.
It's no surprise the expert got it wrong. After all, it was his first time seeing this, just like the rest of us. But he's a top expert in China's aerospace field, a real authority. His reaction shows just how unbelievable and hard to understand it was for him that the Starship's launch could be broadcast live in real time.
In other words, Musk's technology has gone beyond what some experts can understand. Chinese experts are confident. One online commentator in China asked, "How big is the tech gap between China and the US?" According to these experts, China has always been far ahead. For example, one Chinese expert said, "Is rocket recovery really that impressive? Can't China do it too? In the past, we just looked down on it and didn't think much of it."
应该都非常熟悉。
Many people in China are familiar with Musk's SpaceX. In fact, when SpaceX first started developing rocket recovery, it caught a lot of attention here. But back then, most people thought that rocket recovery wasn't economically viable. On one hand, recovering rockets requires burning extra fuel to launch them to the sea. On the other hand, rocket designs also need new improvements to allow recovery. So, many thought this plan wasn't worth it. At the time, Musk's idea was actually looked down upon. Is rocket recovery really that advanced? The 700,000 people in China's aerospace industry don't care about it because they have more important things to do. They're busy practicing how to ignite rockets with their thumbs, a skill that takes 7 years to perfect.
I have a personal question that I've been curious about. When they launch rockets, do they press a button with a specific finger, or is it random?
We have strict rules for this. It's always the right thumb, and we practice over and over to ensure the rocket ignites precisely and launches successfully. But even after practicing thousands of times, success is still not guaranteed.
Tilting. No, stuck. Wait, it's burning. Burnt and coming down. Let's see where it lands.
On June 30th, a rocket developed by Chinese private company Tianbing Technology, the Tianlong 3, exploded during a test at a facility at Gongyi City, Henan Province. The rocket debris fell in a remote mountain area. The Tianlong 3 is a large rocket designed for China's satellite internet network. It's directly compared to SpaceX's Falcon 9. This rocket has a diameter of 3.8 meters, a liftoff mass of 590 tons, and can carry up to 17 tons to low Earth orbit and 14 tons to sun-synchronous orbit. After the test failure, Tianbing Technology released a statement. They said, during the test, one of the rocket stages ignited as expected, reaching a thrust of 820 tons. Due to a failure in the connection between the rocket and the test stand, the rocket stage separated from the stand. After liftoff, the rocket's computer shut down, causing it to fall 1.5 kilometers away in a mountain, where it disintegrated. Videos taken by residents in Gongyi City showed the rocket debris falling from the sky, trailing black smoke before crashing into a mountain and causing a large explosion. Jimu News reported that residents of Shuezhuang village were evacuated before the launch. However, when the rocket exploded, the blast was so loud it shattered the windows in nearby villages. This accident sparked a lot of debate online. Such a dangerous accident and no apology? Typical Tianbing behavior. Is this what they mean by far from the city? Do they think we're blind? This is the most absurd thing to happen in space history. The Tianlong 3 rocket was being tested in Gongyi, and it flew off and exploded so close to residential areas. This should be international news. The Tianlong 3 test failure was the second aerospace accident in June. Earlier, on June 22nd, a Long March 2C rocket launched from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center. Shortly after, a booster appeared to fall over Xianchao village in Guizhou province, releasing what seemed like toxic yellow smoke, which caused villagers to flee. With Musk's rocket recovery technology making waves, China couldn't sit still. They also started working on rocket recovery, with a private company taking on the challenge. On September 22nd, Deep Blue Aerospace's Xingyun 1 completed 10 out of 11 key milestones during a test flight. However, at the last moment, it stumbled and failed to complete all the objectives. The flight lasted 179 seconds and covered about 200 meters. The highest altitude reached wasn't disclosed. Deep Blue Aerospace said that before the engine shut down, the rocket's height was less than half a meter from the planned landing site. It was likely this small height difference that caused the final acceleration to exceed the rocket's design limits, leading to its failure. Deep Blue Aerospace, founded in 2016, says they're not interested in Musk's method of fly up and then come back. Instead, they're trying something more advanced, fly up and come back immediately. What does that mean? The rocket aims to return right after launch. Chinese media praised this in-orbit recovery strategy as unique in the world. Deep Blue Aerospace said, the technology has proven that rocket recovery works, so we're going straight for it, saving time, effort, and being more efficient. Musk and SpaceX may have impressive rocket recovery, but we're determined to catch up and even surpass them in a shorter time. However, there are doubts about the true nature of these so-called private aerospace companies in China. Some analysts argue that these companies have military backgrounds disguised as private firms, with the goal of stealing Western technology. These military civil fusion entities aren't like true market-driven companies like SpaceX. From this perspective, it's impossible for them to replicate SpaceX's success. After Deep Blue Aerospace's failed rocket recovery, they faced widespread criticism online. Chinese state media defended them, saying, "This is not a disaster and shouldn't be laughed at." State media also pointed to SpaceX's past failures to prove that China's rocket recovery technology is superior. Out of 11 major tasks, 10 were completed. Each one helps us move closer to a technological breakthrough. However, online commentators responded, "We're rational and respect science. As long as you don't exaggerate, there's no reason to mock you." Failure shouldn't be mocked, but what did you say when Musk's recovery failed? Failure is normal. Who hasn't experienced failure? Recognizing your own mistakes and acknowledging others' success is the only way to progress. Constantly boasting and fooling people will get you nowhere. SpaceX recovered a 5,000-ton booster with chopsticks, while your 200-ton rocket couldn't even stay upright. Maybe we didn't sing "far ahead" loud enough. If you had developed this technology yourself, I support you even if you failed 10 times, but when Musk open-sourced his work, you still couldn't copy it correctly, and we can't even comment on that? Musk should open-source more so we can innovate and get far ahead by using chopsticks to recover rockets too. It's necessary to criticize, just like how SpaceX was ridiculed by the media worldwide before its success. In fact, some patriotic groups were the loudest when SpaceX failed, calling Starship a giant firecracker. So why is it that when domestic companies failed, we're not told to mock them? We're not laughing at the failure, we're laughing at the boasting, the claims of being far ahead, and the 700,000-strong workforce. Of course, there are some who believe that China is always far ahead. For example, Gu Junhui, a Chinese strategic positioning expert, thinks the same.
There are so many Chinese brands that are way ahead of Tesla. In Professor Gu's opinion, Tesla's October 11th event had no highlights, and he was very disappointed. Tesla's talk about autonomous driving is even further behind. In China, companies like Baidu's Apollo, OTOX, Didi, and others have already been testing in many cities, and commercial operations have already started. But Tesla and Musk's smart cars in the US don't even know when they'll be ready for commercial use. And you know what? We already have tons of road test data. Some say the US is indeed ahead in original AI technology, and I agree. I'm not claiming we are leading in every area, but we are ahead in certain stages. Our AI is far ahead when it comes to ports, factories, and hospitals.
Commentators argued this is typical of outsiders judging experts. When looking at electric vehicles, which company can match Tesla's level of electronic control? When it comes to self-driving, check any Chinese automaker's website. None of them dares to claim their technology has reached level 3. China's reliance on LiDAR for self-driving has been proven to be far behind Tesla's vision-based system. It's shocking that an expert can make such an uninformed statement.